From Rudolph to Scott Calvin to John McClane, the nerds are jingling all the way to December the 25th as they present to you NERDMAS. NERDMAS.
Hey there, I'm John St. John, and you are watching the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast.
What's going on, nerds? And welcome to week 2 of NERDMAS. I'm AJ, I guess down there, because she's down there on this video. That's Susie. That's all I'm going to do. This was Susie's thing. She picked this movie, so I'm just going to...
I did pick this movie. I mean, we're going to get into why AJ's shocked that sometimes I pick movies that I think he'll actually like.
Hey!
And not just, ones that I wait with a bated breath to see if he's gonna like them.
That sounded kind of rude. Not gonna lie, because it's happened more than once. Fuck you, by the way. Hey! Did you forget? Mean. Huh. That's interesting.
What is?
So we're doing the Nutcracker, right? On the
Yeah.
Four Realms. It's using my last night's broadcast as the I don't know how I did that. So please talk about the movie and all that stuff while I fix this.
So apparently AJ's having technical issues.
I'm having
so I
more
don't know
than
how many
any of that. Yeah, all the technical issues, like all of them.
I don't know how many people know the story of the Nutcracker. I mean, my mother and I could probably rattle off a whole bunch of Nutcracker movies. The one of which that comes to mind is The Nuttiest Nutcracker, which now I have to find so AJ can watch it because I think he'll find it hysterical.
Why are you doing this to me? Why?
It's okay.
I let you.
That one I have to watch with you because
I gave you this one. Like, why must you further mess with me?
It's not further messing with you. It's
it is.
More...
Shut up. It's further messing with me.
Okay, fine. But for those who most people don't know my background, but I did ballet for 13 plus years.
Why don't you get out of the way so people could see all that collage? There you go.
Someone actually put this together for me in my senior year.
You have an issue looking at the damn camera.
So the one here is Arabian. The one in the bottom corner over there in a white tutu, that's Snow. And then I was Cinderella and the Mistress of Ceremonies in Sleeping Beauty.
So you have a background where the Nutcracker is one of the, I would say, one of the most famous ballets.
The Nutcracker gets performed by 90% of the ballets every year in December. It's a Christmas show. And there's different variations on it, but typically you have the party scene, you have the fight scene, you have the snow scene, which is where she gets transported to the magical land of sugar plum fairies and sweets. It's actually called the Land of Sweets because I'm special today. And you get a bunch of people that dance for you. I have done.
You had to say it like that. I was fine until you said it like that.
If you ever watch this, they will look at me and actually count how many roles that I have performed in the Nutcracker. I can name on, I think, one hand the roles that I did not do in the Nutcracker.
That's sad.
I think my favorite year, it's not my favorite year, but one of the most memorable years that I had is they needed a couple extra mice for the fight scene. And understand, it's soldiers versus mice. And the mice are coming for Clara. And they needed a couple extra mice, so there was 3 of us who were also in the snow scene. We had 30 seconds to change from mice costumes to snow costumes. And we had to make sure we exited on the correct side of the stage. So that we could get on the stage for our next bit. We had 30 seconds.
Jesus.
And I don't have pictures from that because they're not digitized yet, but they are somewhere, and my mother will almost assuredly find them for me, because now that I've brought this up, she's going to remember that quick change and the hell that ensued.
So basically, Susie, since you've done this as a ballet, you've watched probably an ungodly amount of motion pictures based on the Nutcracker. What about Disney's rendition and edition the Nutcracker in the Four Realms? What stood out in this one the most?
Order of operations. They didn't do it traditional Nutcracker. And I think I was making a comment to AJ earlier that this got bad reviews.
It did. It got very bad reviews, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah. But so, and I have found that most Nutcracker movies, no matter if they follow the plot line, no matter if they change it slightly, almost always get negative reviews. They're never like where a lot of people would expect them to be, given that it's the Nutcracker. You really can't mess up the Nutcracker, guys. You can't. But I like the fact that this was different. It didn't follow the traditional, way that the Nutcracker goes. You didn't have the Waltz of the Flowers. You didn't have the Spanish dance. You didn't have Chinese. You didn't have, like, there was different things in there that you didn't have, which made it better. And they followed the basic story with Clara and Drosselmeyer. But I like the fact that they changed it just enough to make it memorable. I also like the fact that Sugar Plum is the villain here and not Mother Ginger.
You actually enjoyed that? Because I loved the swerve in the movie. And just throwing this out there, and Susie, don't chop my head off here. This was the first Nutcracker anything that I've seen outside of
I chopped your head off
Fantasia.
before we started this. We're good.
I know. I'm very happy you didn't do that on air. I'm very happy. But I loved the swerve. Like, you kind of got inklings of it because Keira Knightley's character was literally playing helicopter over Clara.
Clara. Yeah.
And you kind of got it a little bit there, but once you realize that Ginger isn't as all bad, she's just made to look bad. Oh shit.
I think that's partially why, like, I really liked it. But I remember when the trailers came out, and I apologize for the dinging. I'm not really sure what's dinging on my end, so I apologize. But if you watch the trailers, they make it out that Mother Ginger is the villain. And I like the fact that they kept this so secret, like that you wouldn't have known that Sugar Plum was the villain until you watched the movie. I like the fact that, her mother's not there anymore and used to be the queen of the Land of Sweets. So I think that kind of, like, it brings, like, a different level to the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I will say that nobody should ever watch a Nutcracker movie with me.
I don't plan on it, but you already told me that I am being forced to.
You have to watch the Nuttiest Nutcracker with me. I might wrangle my mom into that one too, because she really likes that movie too.
I miss your mom.
But one of the things that I figured out why there's a dinging. Hold on.
It's probably Discord or Facebook.
No, it's Messenger.
Facebook. Ah.
Well, no, it's actually iMessage because it's my phone.
Oh, well, never mind.
Hang
then.
off on my computer, and I didn't realize that I had left messages. Um, but for me, it's hard for me to watch a Nutcracker. But it's primarily because I did so many roles over the 13 plus years I was dancing that I can do most of the dances in my head. Like, I literally can picture the movements and where I'm supposed to go, what I'm supposed to do.
I'm pretty sure you would hurt yourself right now.
No, actually, I wouldn't.
No?
Nope.
You're not going to stretch first?
I mean, I would stretch first, but I wouldn't hurt myself.
See,
Because unlike you, AJ, I have the dance training behind me to support me not injuring myself.
bite me. I can do my little hamster shuffle. That's all I can do is like. But another thing that I know this movie got bad reviews, and I can see where some of them are very valid. But one thing that got praised, and one thing I really want to mention, are the set pieces. It is gorgeous. It is a gorgeous looking movie, and they did phenomenal. Even the about 5 minute ballet sequence in the middle of the movie when they're explaining everything, that was done very, very well. And I literally was just, this is I could definitely probably go to one of these, but I might sleep through half of it.
You wouldn't sleep through it.
Yeah, because I'll take an elbow to the rib.
You would take an elbow to the rib. No, the other thing that I really appreciated that this movie did is they hired professional dancers for this. They did not have any of their actors or actresses dance any of these parts.
Was that something you were afraid of when they announced the movie?
I was terrified that they were going to have, and like, nothing against the actors and actresses. Like, I'm sure that they could do it, but dance is such a hardcore training. Like, there are people who tell you that dance is not a sport.
Mm-hmm.
Dance is a freaking sport. It is a marathon.
I believe it.
Like, you would put like half the stuff that we do on a regular basis and the amount that we put our bodies through up there with football. Like, it's insane what we do to our bodies to be able to perform the way those dancers did in that movie. So I was legitimately terrified that they were gonna have like Keira Knightley, on point trying to do this dance, and I was like, no, please, no, do not. So I was excited to see that they were professional dancers, that they were very thoughtful with the choreography, and that like you have the little ending clip at the end too, where they're dancing. I can't think of what song they were dancing to now. I had it. Part of it was Snow. At the end, and it was really pretty. And
Out of the egg?
Huh?
Out of the egg where Clara's dancing with her father?
No. That is Waltz of the Flowers.
Well, you said at the end, so I figured it was that one.
No, there's actually a credit scene where they have two dancers and they dance.
I might have shut it off then before that.
Jay,
It's not Marvel.
Marvel movies.
It's not Marvel. You are yelling so loud your mic's not picking it up. It's great. It's saving my ears so much. Would you like to try that again?
No.
Nope. Well, I'm able to read lips there. Didn't hear any of that, but I'm pretty sure you said, I can't deal with you.
Pretty much.
But let's go into kind of the, not behind the scenes, but the, I guess, biometrics of this movie. It came out on October 29th, 2018. It was released by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. The film grossed $174 million worldwide, with a production budget between $120 to $133 million. Ouch. I'm pretty sure with this, they were hoping it was going to do better, but I think they more have made it because it's the Nutcracker, and Disney needs a Nutcracker movie because Disney needs all kinds of movies.
I don't think this is their first Nutcracker movie.
Well, they did the animated Mickey Mouse one, didn't they? This was their first live action one.
This is their first live action, but I'm pretty sure they've done a Nutcracker.
I think it was the Mickey and Minnie one.
I don't know. I have to think about it.
Well, don't think too hard.
Seen them all. The other thing that this movie had going for them is they had an all-star cast.
No shit.
Like
Keira Knightley, Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman was in this.
Richard Grant.
So AJ, trivia for you. What else was Mackenzie Foy in?
Am I actually supposed to know this? Are you setting me up for something?
I'm partially setting you up for something. I'm partially expecting you to know this.
I know she played Little Murph in Interstellar, but I can't think of her in anything else.
She plays Renesmee in
Who's
Twilight.
that? Yep. Like I was gonna know that. Like I was bleeping gonna know that. What?
I knew. I saw her. I didn't want to believe that she was in this movie. Misty Copeland.
Yeah.
Who is like, she's huge in the dance world. That just made this movie even better for me.
You popped really hard for that.
I did. So I have several ballerinas that I followed as I was growing up. Misty Copeland was one of them. I can't think of her name. I will look her up though. Maria Tallchief. I was obsessed with Maria Tallchief.
Okay.
And I don't expect you to know who that is because you're not in the dance world, but so I had different ones that I followed, and that was that's chef's kiss. That's awesome. I love that.
So overall, Susie, what did you think of this movie? Was it a good representation of the Nutcracker, and is it something you would go back to?
It's something that I would go back to. I think I'm really glad that Disney didn't just call this the Nutcracker.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the story of the Nutcracker. Like if you go into a bookstore and you pick up the Nutcracker, it's going to be a completely different story. So I think this is a good alternative story. But if you're looking for like a classic Nutcracker, this is not it. This is not what you're looking for. And definitely, something to consider, but I would highly recommend it if you are sick of Nutcracker stories.
So,
I can never get sick of Nutcracker stories, but
this was something I was actually surprised that I was going to enjoy as much as I did. Very surprised. Under the right circumstances, I guess I would go back and watch it. Like if it's on, I'm not gonna be like, oh fuck this movie. I'll watch it. Or if Susie's like, AJ, you need to watch the rest of them now, and I'm gonna be like,
I think the only one that I need you to watch is The Nuttiest Nutcracker, and I think it's because you will find it a riot. I will find it so we can watch
The
it.
Nuttiest Nutcracker? Why does that have... Is it The Nutty Professor does Nutcracker?
No.
That's the only thing that really comes to mind.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's definitely not that.
Nope. Well, that's scary.
Yep. And it's one of the ones my mother found. So that should worry you even more.
Yes. Yes. I feel like alcohol definitely needs to be required now. Thank you, Sue. Wow, you were really holding that laugh in for quite a while on that one. Excuse me. But Susie, I'm kind of excited for our next episode next week. Do you know what it is? It's our one scary Christmas movie.
Oh, we're doing Violent Night.
Yes, we are doing Violent. I don't even know if it's actually that scary, but
It's not. I don't know that it's that scary, but I more picked it because the guy who plays Santa is plays one of my favorite characters in Stranger Things.
yeah, I haven't seen that one either.
Stranger Things is a TV show, and
I'm aware. I know what it is. I just haven't seen it.
definitely highly recommend it. Don't watch it though while you're at work.
I would never do that, Susie.
That is definitely one that I do not recommend anybody watching while they're working.
Oh, I know David Harbour.
Yeah, you should. What else was he in?
He was in Black Widow.
Yeah.
He was also in the Gran Turismo movie that just came out.
Huh?
I gave you 2. That should be enough.
Yeah. I gave you 1. You gave me 2. It's fine.
I'm excited for that. I don't know if it's an actual scary movie. I think it's more of a Santa's pissed. Oh, it's called an action comedy. So
yeah. Okay.
I'm looking at screenshots from the movie and it looks fucking great. I can't wait for it. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Nerds Who Nerd Things podcast, giving you NERDMAS. Susie, why does it look like you have something else?
I feel like there was something else, and I just don't remember what it was now.
Do I need the Jeopardy theme? Doop,
No.
Doop, 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 doop. It's also your first podcast now that you've
That was part of my thought process. Is like we have a new member of the Nerds clan.
I don't know if clan's the right word, Susie.
I like clan.
Well,
clan works for family.
leaving the hood at home. I can't believe I just said that.
I can't believe you said that either. So it was nice to actually be on podcast this week and not have to miss like I did last week. But I was adjusting to a new baby at home.
Nala. Yeah, well, apparently it's a Pokemon, so. Bye, everybody. See you for Violent Night next week.
I had the best Pokemon ever, so.
If I make it, she might kill me.
From Rudolph to Scott Calvin to John McClane, the nerds are jingling all the way to December the 25th as they present to you NERDMAS. NERDMAS.